welcome to another Photoshop tutorial with myself, Jeremy McGuinness, aka the Irish Photoshopper. And this week we're going to take it all the way back and we're going to do a tutorial for beginners, which is the photo that you see in front of you. It's called He's Got the Whole World in His Hand. So again, you can download the images from the description to follow along. As always, please like and subscribe to this video for more excellent content on the way. So without further ado, let's get to it. So the very first thing we're going to do is press Control or Command J to duplicate the background layer, or you can right click and go to duplicate. Double click on the writing and rename it to background. Click enter. From here we're just going to do a color balance. So when you select your color balance, first thing we're going to do is we're going to affect the shadows. So we're going to do say +6, say +7, and say +9 on the shadows. From here, go to your midtones, do +10, minus, let's say 9, and -8. Now feel free to play around with these as you please if you want to have a look a different way. Select your highlights. From here, when you select your highlights, I'm going to go a minus, let me see. Now let's go a +5. Say -6, and let's go +13. Okay, next thing what we're going to do is we're going to come down to the bottom. We're going to select the curves adjustment layer and just affect the red channel only. And just slightly, like a slight S shape to it. Okay, we're going to go on to our photo of the girl. Click your quick selection tool on the left and then click select subject. Well, let me zoom back in there a little bit. Again, your quick selection tool, click the minus and just get rid of those unwanted selections. From here, just click on the plus button and just add in that little bit of the child that was missing. Just down around the feet there and around the legs. Click select and mask and use your refine edge tool on the left hand side. You will see it selected. It's a dark color grey. All I'm going to do from here is just zoom in a little bit. And have a quick look. Yeah, click your quick selection tool and just draw around some of the edges where you know the selection has not selected, so we can just redefine the edge there and bring it back in. Okay, like so. Now I was selecting a bit of the hair, but actually turned out that I just pressed Ctrl Z just to undo that, because I didn't want it basically in the final edit. I'm just going to select just a little bit around the hair there. Now what we're going to do here is just come down to our shift edge and bring it all the way in to around maybe a bit more. Click OK. Click our mask button. Let me just zoom in a little bit. On the right hand side, just click on the black mask, use a brush, change the color to white. Let's make sure the hardness is all the way down. Let's bring up the flow just a little bit. Let's use the bracket keys on our keyboard. Just adjust the size of the brush and then just brush back in the pixels that were not selected, like so. Zoom out, right click on the layer and apply layer mask. Now you're using drag and drop tool to bring it in and drop it on the image that we want to put it onto. Oh, wrong way. Right click and go to flip horizontal, hold your shift key and then drag and change the dimensions of the photo. Just get it to the size that you want. Okay, you can also just rotate it a little bit. Again, you feel free to place it wherever you want to on this little piece of dirt, but to me, I'll just mess about with it a little bit just until I get it in the right position that I feel is appropriate. click on the tick. What we're going to do now is create a mask, zoom all the way in, and just brush around the edge of the bottom of the child. Maybe press Ctrl T first of all, and maybe hold Shift and just adjust the size a little bit more till it starts to look and place it wherever you want to onto that image. If you need to resize, you can do that at any stage by pressing Ctrl T. Click your tick, make sure you're on the mask on the right hand side. Click on your brush, change the color to black. My flows are 66%, as you can see along the top options bar. Then just brush around the edge and just blend in the underlying layer. I'm just going to speed it up a little bit. So what we're doing is we're removing the pixels that we do not want from the child model, and we are bringing in the picture from underneath. Okay, so we're just masking out the part that we don't want. Again, if you need to turn your flow up a little bit, if you find that 66 is not enough, again, you can refine this as you please. If you need to bring back in pixels that you've erased, change the color to white and just brush back in over the pixels that you have masked there already. I wanted to get the tail end of the dress in here, so let me just turn it back to black. Let me just about with the edges there a little bit, like so. And again, it's all about getting it to look the way you want it to look. Zoom out. Let's create another color balance and clip our clipping mask button. Let's change, let's change the midtones to around +10. Let's go -18 and let's go +10 on the midtones. We go to our shadows. And here maybe +10, then we'll go -18 and then +10 again. Okay, let's go in now and affect our, actually let me change the midtones again there a little bit. Just let me up the reds to +23. Let me change the down to -4 on the magentas and -3 on the yellows. Now let's go to our highlights. Let's go +6 on the reds, then -14 on the magentas, and let's go +13 on the blues. Click enter. Come down to and select the curves adjustment layer, like so. Let's adjust the highlights, the midtones, and the shadows just a little bit. I think that's starting to look pretty good. Nice color tone to it there. You can hold Alt or clip the clipping mask button to clip it to the image below, which is the girl. Let's go to our adjustments. Select another curves adjustment. Let's just bring down the midtones a little bit. From here, go into your image of your flower. Oh, excuse me. Let me drag and drop the flower into this image. Again, press Ctrl T and hold Shift while you're dragging the dimensions of the flower down, just to keep that image quality. By holding Shift will do that for you. Again, you can position it wherever you want to. Again, just for me, this is just the way that I liked it. And again, it's just about sizing it up the way that you want it to look. Okay, so let me see. I left most of this in the video because I just wanted to show you, that you maybe try a couple of different positions to see which one you find is best. But for me, this is the one that I think looks best. So let me just drag that layer down underneath the girl layer on the right hand side. Let's zoom all the way in. As you can see, what we're going to do is just click the mask button on the flower, select a nice soft black brush, and let's just mask out the bits of the flower that we don't want, which is nearly the stem. Okay, press Ctrl T just to shift the dimensions again, and just dragging it just in behind the dress. Click OK. I'm still not liking the edge of this dress, so I'm going to click on the mask on the girl there. Okay, let me just select the white brush, nice soft white brush. Let me bring back in bits of the dress that I had masked out. Let me go change it into black. Let's just blend out some around the edges here. Okay, like so, just softly just go around the edges. Okay, just turn back to white again. Let me just bring in the edge of the dress just around by the stem. Let me go back to black and just erase that white blur just around it. Now it's really starting to take shape. Let's zoom out. Click on the flower layer. Actually, let's double click on the writing beside the flower layer and rename the flower, and then above it let's rename the girl layer to girl. Should have done this at an earlier stage. Again, as you can see, mistakes can be made. So let's go into our adjustments, make a new hue and saturation, and use the clipping mask button to clip it down. Then we put it down to around -26 on the saturation. From here, let's create another color balance. Let's clip it again using the clipping mask button or holding Alt and clicking it. From here, let's put our reds up to around +45 on the midtones. Let's bring our magentas down to around -29. Actually, let me adjust this. Let's go -20. Let's make a nice even number. Then from here, I think we're actually going to go to around, say, let's go +24 on the blues actually. That'll look a lot better. Let's go back into our shadows again. Let's actually just redo the shadows a little bit. Let's go to -27. Let's go to -25 in the yellow, -27 on the red, and +16 on the green. Then we're just going to click on our top layer, hold Shift, Control, Alt and E to create a brand new layer with all of our adjustments below. Then press Ctrl or Command J to duplicate it. Then double click on the duplicated layer and rename this to Paint. Like so. Press Enter. From here, we're just going to go up and go to our Filter tab. We're going to come down to Filter Gallery. Just give it a second there, depending on your computer. It might take a moment to load up. Let's click on our Paint Daub effect under the Artist drop down. Zoom out a little bit just to show you what it looks like. We're just going to click OK. From here, let's turn down the opacity. Like so. Let's just zoom in a little bit just to see the effect that it's having. As you can see, it's not major, it just has a nice little softness to it. Now you can adjust your opacity as you please to get it to look the way you want it to look, but again, if you just follow on screen there, you'll see what I'm doing. It's just the way I like it to look. Let's put a mask on that top layer. Grab a nice soft brush, make sure you're on black, and let's just mask out just those white blurry lines just around the image that are protruding out of the sides. Okay, and this comes hand in hand with that Paint Daub effect, so just be aware of it. And again, just go around those edges. Like so. If you want, you can turn up your opacity back up to 30 or whatever way you want to leave it. Press 30, press Enter. Let's zoom out by pressing Control or Command and the minus button to zoom out. Or you can press Control or Command and the plus button to zoom in. So let's click on that top layer. Let's do a curves adjustment. Let's just bring down the midtones a little bit. Then in between the curves and the paint layer, let's create a brand new layer. Nice soft round brush. Make sure that your color is white on the left hand side. Then just draw a streak right through. Let's turn the blend mode to overlay. Let's put a mask on this. Make sure again that you're on black. And then just mask out the really bright areas to make it look like that there's a sun ray actually hitting the subject as opposed to going right across the screen. Okay, you don't want it to look too harsh. Really liking the look of this photo so far. Click on our top layer, hold Shift, Control, Alt and E to create a brand new stamp layer with all of our adjustments below. Let's grab our burn tool of around 24% and let's just darken the already kind of dark areas of the photo. So any sort of bit of shade, let's darken that a little bit just to give it a little bit more depth. So like so, just nice and soft, just go around some of the dark areas. Remember, if you make a mistake, you can press Ctrl Z just to undo it. One last time, let's press Shift, Control, Alt and E. Let's go to our filter tab, go down to other, go to high pass, to sharpen it and just leave it at 1%, 1.0. Press OK, then change the blend mode to overlay. And we're done. So here's the final result. I hope you're happy with your final outcome. If you have any suggestions, please comment below this video. If there's anything that you'd like to see or like to learn or like for me to do a video on, please let me know again in the comments. If you do attempt this edit, you can find me on Instagram under the Irish Photoshopper. Okay, so again, you can tag me or add me at the Irish Photoshopper on Instagram. Again, thank you so much for watching this video and I hope you have a great day.